3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Pass the Turn.
Hello and welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about Ikoria, Lair of the BEHEMOTHS, and a little bit for the comment section there. And essentially, we're going to be looking at some of the cards that we really like and want to share with you guys, and some of our ideas around them. So, we haven't decided who's going first.
Yeah, so the way we did this last time was broke it down by colour. So if we just start a certain colour, let's say green,
Sure.
and go from there. So Troy, I reckon you've got probably some good greenies, have you?
I've got some good greenies. I've got.
Up your nose.
I think I've got 10 green cards actually.
Holy moly!
Okay, let's start with this one. Just a quick one. It's called Ram Through. It's an instant card. Costs 1 and a green. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. The creature you control has trample. Excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead.
Wow, that's pretty good. So it's like Prey Upon, but without the fight mechanic. What's the other one where they fight green? It's a green card that you fight another thing.
That is Prey Upon, yeah.
Yeah,
but the fact that the trample goes through, so it's almost like a burn spell as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I just picked it because of massive green creatures. Pick on like a 1/1 or something just to damage your opponent, I guess.
So I assume you're going to run this in your green Nylia deck.
It's Golter now. Sorry, did I not update everyone? It's Golter.
Oh, it's Golter. Yeah, Golter is Golter.
I could run it in Skullbriar as well.
Yeah,
Standard damage or something. It's just a little. It's not a definite, but it's something cheap and usable.
Well, it's good, yeah. Well, if you've got big green creatures, it's a removal spell plus direct damage in green. So yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think in Skullbriar the damage that you do with that, because command damage is only combat damage.
Oh,
so
yeah,
so that wouldn't trample through, but yeah, it would be like for a lot. But with Golter as well, like that's just hideous. Like you're hitting just someone for like you're hitting a 1/1 just. And the rest of it just goes through 11 damage to someone's face.
If you had infect on that as well, that would be horrendous.
Yeah, you potentially kill someone.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that would work really well with. Yeah, that's not nice.
Well,
that's a really good card.
Yeah,
that's good. Do you want to go with another one? I've only got 3 green cards.
Yeah, I'll skip the one that you've got. So. That foreign one I found is actually called Barrier Breach. It's another instant card, and it says exile up to 3 target enchantments, and it's also cycling for 2. Only costs 3, so it's good removal for green, I guess.
That is really good.
Up to 3 enchantments.
Yeah.
Exile as well.
Yeah, exile.
And then it's got cycling. If you don't need it, you can just draw a card off of it. That's really good.
So that's my Rhystic Study, my Smothering Tithe, and my Teferi's.
It's
a Teferi.
Josh, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Next up is a creature. Sorry, I picked out these cards either last night or today, and I'm like, did I pick this? Yes, I did. Ivy Elemental. So it costs a green plus X. It's a 0/0, and it enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. So I just thought possibly in any kind of mono green deck for sure, something like that could just be
massive.
Yeah. So it's sort of like it's like the old Hydras, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really like Hydras. I don't include Hydras in my deck. I think if it's Hydras, it's got to be tribal Hydras.
Yeah, I got tribal Hydras.
Yeah.
There's a sick commander for that now as well in this new set.
But yeah, it's just a little one, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good little mana sink as well. If you've got nothing else to do, just get a massive creature out.
Exactly. These are all cards I would use. It's just if and when.
Yeah, for what deck will it go in? That's the thing.
Something like that could go mono green, I guess. But that's it. I'm constantly fighting with the best creatures in that, aren't I?
Yeah. I mean, you've got so many good ones now. It's like difficult to actually know what you want to be using.
Yeah. Or what's the word? Banned one, because I keep finding out. That's 2 now.
Oh, Sylvan Primordial, yeah, the band.
Primordial. What was the other one? Primeval Titan,
Yeah.
Oh, shame.
It's not
Oh
very
well.
nice, is it?
Just so everyone knows, we've also done a practice game amongst ourselves with banned cards, and we decided that Grizzlebrand definitely should stay banned because it's just
Yeah.
ludicrous.
That was Leo who piloted that as well. It was your brother, wasn't it, who piloted that?
Yeah, gosh, that was
Oh.
horrendous.
That was awful.
So, quickly going back to Barrier Breach, it's Sylvan Primordial, although it was a creature, was basically the same, wasn't it? Except you could target artifacts as well, I believe.
Whenever it enters, you destroy a non-creature permanent or a permanent for each opponent, and then you search your library for a land for each permanent destroyed.
Oh yeah, that was the extra bit. So yeah,
it's
no
pretty
one
horrendous.
banned, but still.
I mean, that was too powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Which is,
You are the Green King.
yeah, Charge of the Forever Beast. It's a sorcery, costs 2 and a green. It says, as an additional cost to cast this spell, reveal a creature card from your hand. Most likely you're going to get one. And then Charge of the Forever Beast deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to the revealed card's power. So it's creature removal, basically.
There's a lot of green direct damage in so far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obliterating planeswalkers. It's like it's like a fling from the hand, but you don't lose the creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so
awesome.
that's a possibility. I guess they're going for these massive creatures and creature-focused spells, I guess, aren't they?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, very cool. Next card, Lead the Stampede. This one does feature Vivian, I believe, though, on the art. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of creature cards from among them and put the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
Basically a draw spell for your decks then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much money does that cost to play?
Oh, it's 2 plus Forest.
3
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Does it say any number of creatures?
Any number of creature cards from but so you get to draw 5 or look at the top 5. So
Potentially you could draw 5 creatures.
Get 5 creatures.
That's good.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh, there's something here. There is a legendary creature ape here.
Oh yeah. King Kong basically.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it's this Cogler the Titan ape. It costs 3 plus 3 green, so 6 mana. Yeah, they've basically replaced the King Kong planes with hot air balloons, and the Empire State Building is like a giant green crystal.
Literally, yeah.
Basically King Kong.
That is it.
So when it enters, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. It's a 7/6. And then whenever it attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls.
Yeah.
And then you can pay 1 and a green to return target human you control to its owner's hand. Cogler gains indestructible till end of turn.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on with that one.
Yeah. So he wants he wants to be a commander in a fucking human deck, doesn't he? Really?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Yeah, quite a cool card. I don't think I'd use it in my green deck, but who knows?
Cool. Yeah, it's good mention though.
Yeah. It's 6 mana, so it's not
That'd be a sick commander if there's enough green. Well, there's got to be enough green humans.
There's a lot of the human druids and stuff, isn't there? I think in green.
Isn't Eternal Witness is a human shaman, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So no, there's plenty of good stuff there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I've got 3 more.
Oh, return your Eternal Witness to your hand. Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's another staple in green, isn't it, now? Crazy. This is a green staple. I think we can all agree. Migration Path.
Oh yeah.
3 card, costs 3 and a green. Search your library for up to 2 basic lands. Put them onto the battlefield. Tap, then shuffle your library, and it's got cycling for 2. So
it's basically just a more utilized explosive vegetation.
Yeah.
Or circuitous routes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because you could just, circuitous routes can get you gates, but it doesn't really matter. The fact that you can cycle it off when you've already got all the lands out of your deck, you just draw. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, it's good.
If you're fully ramped, then cycle it off for a card.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a Triumph of the Hordes or something. I don't know.
Could also be a forest.
Yeah. Moving on then, got an instant card here called Thwart the Enemy, costs 2 and a green. It just says prevent all damage that will be dealt this turn by creatures your opponents control.
Okay.
How much?
Cost 3.
How much does it cost?
3. I think I picked it because I was like, doesn't Fog do the same for 1?
Fog does all creatures don't do damage.
Yeah.
So one-sided Fog.
Yeah,
We don't run enough of the Fogs, though, really, do we?
No.
I've got some stuff like that, but I've never put in my green deck because I don't know. I feel like if I get attacked, then I just attack back with green.
Yeah.
The way it goes. I've usually got bigger creatures than most people, and it's like it just takes up one of those deck slots that it's getting harder and harder to jiggle about.
Well,
normally you've got bigger creatures and more creatures as well. So it's like no one wants to punch you because they'll get punched back harder.
Yeah.
And if they don't punch you, you're still going to punch them.
Yeah. I must have picked this for the people that are scared when they're playing mono green. I don't know.
No, it's good though because it prevents all damage by your opponent's creatures, not yours. So your creatures will still trample through or kill their creatures, which is great.
Yeah. It's an option for people there.
It's better than Fog, I think.
How much mana did it cost again? Did you say 3?
Yeah, 3 mana altogether.
That's right. Yeah, that's usable. Instant speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instant. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Done.
That's good.
Okay, last up is a card called Wilt. This was another one that I found in Spanish or whatever it was, that language.
Yeah.
Costs 2 mana, 1 and a green, and it just destroy target artifact or enchantment, and it's also got cycling. I thought that was quite cool.
It's either 2 mana to draw a card or 2 mana to destroy an artifact or enchantment, which is good in green and gives you that card draw.
Definitely, they're helping the green players out. I think lots of artifact and enchantment destruction or exile.
Yeah, there's a lot of push for that in that deck, in that colour.
Yeah, I've got to the point now where I think seeing some other green decks, I'm going to be running a lot of things like that, and a lot. What am I aiming for?
Because you simplify the field by using stuff like that. Because when you play against Leo and me specifically, I have a lot of enchantments and artifacts that assist us,
and they're not very nice to everyone else.
No, exactly.
So it's a bit like I think you have to. But yeah, I'm going to be running a lot of things like that. It's easy in green to run low-cost creatures and spells anyway, but I'm aiming for more of a even mana curve, I guess.
Yeah.
Now? Yeah. I just want the deck, all my decks to kind of flow. You want to be doing something every turn, and it's hard.
Yeah, that's the hard thing to build. I also find that actually lower cost spells or more abundance of 1s to 4 drops is normally more beneficial than mostly 5 to 6 drops.
Yeah.
Even though the 5+ drops are the fun ones to play normally.
Oh yeah, you can include a good handful still. In green, it's not unheard of not to go for the massive stuff, but at the same time, you don't just want to be sat there taking ample amount of damage just to get something out that's 7 mana or something stupid. Yeah.
It comes back to the whole thing is, as long as you're spending your mana every turn to do something, that's you're on the right path.
Yeah.
Sweet. Are they all your green ones then, are they?
All my green ones, I believe, yeah.
Okay.
What Aaron talked about is
Yeah, I've got 3 green cards. So the first one features a card which I'll speak about later, Mythos of Brokos. This sounds like a Theros card, Mythos of Brokos. This costs 2 green and 2 for a sorcery. If black and blue was also spent to cast this spell, search your library for a card and put that card into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. And then it says return up to 2 permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. So it basically entombs something, and then you can return up to 2 permanent cards from graveyard to your hand. So you can grab something else which has been in the grave as well. So if you spend the extra mana.
That's only if you play the extra colour cost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you say what was the extra colours? Black and
black and blue.
Black and blue.
So it's basically a soul tie spell then.
Yeah, soul tie spell. If you pay the mana, you get to entomb something. If you don't, you get to return 2 permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand.
Very good.
Which is going to be in my mutate deck. So
I mean, it's a 3 mana get 2 permanent cards to your hand.
Yeah.
So for 3 mana, you can get like a Soul Ring and an Arcane Signet. Drop them both down the same turn, and you've ramped up 3 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I specifically avoided these cards just because I only go up to 2 colours.
Yeah.
Not branched out yet, but yeah, it's a cool card.
Was that 4 mana overall?
Yes, it's 4 mana, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
2 green and 2. Yeah, and if you cast it using the blue and black, that's when you get to search library for a card, put it into graveyard. But if not, you return 2 permanents from your graveyard to your hand. So that's Mythos of Brokos. The next one is Colossification.
Oh yes.
Which was on Troy's list as well. So this is basically an aura card. It costs 7 to play, and the creature gets +20/+20. So it's pretty.
It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so many things you can do with that.
No, exactly. It's absolutely outrageous. I'm trying to look for the card now. I haven't got it in front of me.
Does it get trample as well?
I don't think so.
When it comes in, it says that you have to tap whichever creature you enchant, so you can't just play it and attack unless you've got a way to untap.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when it enters battlefield, tap target enchanted creature. Yeah. So it's ridiculous. When it comes back round to the enchanted creature's turn, that's when it's going to start going off.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got like a rogue passage.
Yeah, you could also use that to get that last person's blocker out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do. You might just run it in Thantis and just enchant someone else's creature and make it attack. That's funny.
Yeah, goad it up. That's mad. You could stick that on any green creature and it's just...
If it goes through, kill target player, basically.
If you get that on Commander or something, that's even worse. That's like...
Yeah, put it on Golter, imagine.
1 hit kill. 32 or whatever.
No, it's a nice card. Really nice card. Obviously, it's going to be going in Voltron decks. Like Thrun, my Thrun the Last Troll will probably have that. He needs some support, bless him, so that will definitely go in there.
Oh my god, it can go on your Leviathan Erixmathes deck.
Yeah, it could go in there as well, yeah.
You think how quickly you could probably ramp a green deck, or any deck with green in as well.
Yeah.
That's not going to come out on turn 7, is it?
No.
That can come out.
Erixmathes deck would actually be really good, because I've got cards that untap target
exactly,
creature.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
Next one, last green card on my list is a card called Gem Razor. So it's a beast, 4/4 beast, reach trample, costs 4, so it costs 1 green and 3 others, or you can mutate it onto something or below something for green, and 1. And then it says, whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. So if you placed it on top of something, it would be 4/4 reach trample. Whenever it mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or we could put it underneath something, which would probably be one of my commanders, I expect, and it would still retain the same abilities as the commander, but whenever it mutates, it would have that same ability. and it would also have reach and trample. So good for mutate decks. So that's what's on the list. So I'm buying the mutate deck.
Yeah.
The mutate commander deck. And enhanced evolution. So I did a bit.
The playful card or whatever.
I'll treat me the ever playful. Yeah. So I did a video on that a couple of days ago. So I'll float that link in there if anyone wants to watch it. But yeah, it looks like a good deck. Yeah, it's a good deck that.
I've ordered the cycle deck as well. So
Timeless Wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't ordered any decks, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But hey ho, I'm just making a goblin deck instead.
I mean, I pretty much ordered it because I want the free counter spell, the Locust God, and there's a few other bits and bobs in there that I wanted. That was sick cards.
Yeah, you get all the commander
staples. An arcane signet with me? Let me know. I want one.
Oh yeah, you want another arcane signet?
Yeah.
You can
in every deck.
Yeah,
I do my proxy style now so I don't need multiple copies.
Yeah, I'll trade something with you, mate.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Right, so I have one green card. No surprise there.
Yeah.
Top one.
Wow. I've got one.
How more? Quick.
And it's probably going to be one of the flagship cards of the set, which is Vivian Monsters Advocate. So this card is 5 mana, so that's 2 green and 3 generic. Comes in with 3 loyalty, and it has a static ability, just like in War of the Spark. And this one is, you may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Its +1 is create a 3/3 beast creature token, and to put your choice of vigilance counter, reach counter, or a trample counter on it, and that's a +1.
Yep.
But really, the big thing I like about this card is it's -2, which is going to be able to do straight away, which is when you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So this card is actually ludicrous. So essentially, you minus Vivian and you play Kiki Jiki, you go and get Restoration Angel, and you combo win that turn.
Wow. I was going to say, I've obviously skipped past this because it's a Planeswalker. But yeah, that's insane.
It is actually ridiculous because you think about it, a creature card with lesser converted mana cost. Okay, so you pay -2 and you cast your Golter for 12. And you go to your deck, and you go and get a
Blightsteel Colossus.
Lesser, you go and get a Blightsteel Colossus, or a Void Winnower.
Oh, it's outrageous!
Crazy card, absolutely crazy.
Oh, Void Winnower, that's horrible. I'm going to play a Golter, but I'm going to go get Void Winnower, so you can't play stuff with even converted mana costs. Great.
That's crazy. Well, with Golter, I mean, you can for however many creatures powers you've got, isn't it? Total powers, but I guess it would still count as 12 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on turn 6, you down tick your Vivian, you cast your Golter for 2 mana, and then you go and get yourself a Blightsteel Colossus in the process for 2 mana.
Just go get Ulamog instead or something.
Oh my god, it's just crazy.
Oh dear.
Like stuff like Emrakul costs 13, the newer one, but if you've got stuff in the graveyard, it can cost like 7. So you can play your Emrakul and go and get an Ulamog. You can play your Emrakul and you can go and get your Golter.
Right. So will you be using this card?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I just don't know what deck I'd want to build with it.
In any? Oh yeah, you'd have to build one, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I've got all the components to make what I want. It's depending on whether I'd want it to be a combo deck, which I'm not too keen on. I'm in the process of thinking about making like a big creature, big mana matters deck, but I don't know. I've got enough decks for now, so we'll see. I've got this new one that you haven't seen, but we'll play it later, Troy, and you'll feel the pain.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to another colour. Shall we go with white?
Yeah.
Take it away, Josh.
I have no cards in white.
Oh. I've got a white card.
Aaron's got one. We've got one.
I've actually got a white card on my list. Let me just grab it. So it's called Luminous Broodmoth, or it can be Mothra from the Godzilla universe.
That's right.
So this is a insect creature, so it costs 2 generic and 2 white for a 3/4 creature insect with flying. And whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return it to the battlefield under its own control with a flying counter on it. So basically it's just a way of protecting all of your creatures from dying. So it basically just gives them pseudo undying but with flying counters when they return instead. So that's a nice card which will go in the Symbiotic Swarm deck, which I also ordered with the Reality Warper Commander. And it pairs well with another card from Amonkhet where it says players cannot get counters or counters cannot be placed on anything. So if this was out, I can't remember what it's called, Solidarity or
Solemnity.
That's it, yeah, Solemnity. So if you had Solemnity out and this was out, the creatures would return without flying counters, and therefore they're basically just constantly undying.
Wow. Wait. Repeat the moth card again.
So it says whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it.
And how much mana?
4.
Jeez, it's like a Mickey ass for 4 mana.
Yeah. So
Chaos.
It's pretty ridiculous, and it will go in the Symbiotic Swarm deck, and it's an insect as well, which is awesome. It's a shame they didn't print many more insects in the set, but never mind.
Do you know if it's a legendary?
No, it's not legendary.
That's a shame. That would be an amazing commander.
Yeah, but
Madness.
Awesome card. Yeah, and it's the Mothra as well in the Godzilla universe. So that looks pretty cool. Yeah, nice card there in white.
And it's the only card we've got in white, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Dear.
Yep. Let's move on to blue.
Blue. Yeah.
Some blue.
Who's in blue?
Come on then. Because I haven't got any.
You got any, Troy?
Yeah, I've got a few. So I've got an instant card called Neutralize. It costs 3, so it's 1 and 2 blue, and it's just a counter spell, but it's got cycling.
Oh yeah. This was going to be one of my choices as well when I was thinking about blue, but it is a better cancel, strictly better cancel.
Yeah, so it's in my Yuriko Ninjas deck. I've got a lot of counter spells now, and I went for a few that cost 3 mana just because there's something extra with it. So like this, you've got the cycling ability.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I saw it and was like, yeah, sometimes it's worth it. You know, counter spell costs 2, or you get the really expensive ones that only cost 1, but you pay 3 with this. You get to cycle it if you need to. Sometimes it's worth it, I think.
Also, you can draw a card at instant speed if that's not the card that you need to solve the issue at the time.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's good. The whole cycling thing that's come in is just giving, staple cards like that extra utility. So there's going to be a lot of swap outs with these cards, I think, just because of the extra utility attached to them. So that's good.
Yeah. I mean that migration path, that green one,
yeah.
If anything makes that become like a 20 quid card or something ridiculous just because of cycling, go mad.
Yeah.
It's a staple everyone needs, and I bet it'll become pricey.
Yeah, I might do.
Who knows? It's crazy, this game. Okay. Yeah, Neutralize. Quite cool artwork as well. Another blue card, Gust of Wind.
What Pokemon is it? I
just realised the name.
It's a Pokemon card.
Wow.
Like slick that, mate. Gust of Wind, it's a sorcery. It costs 3 and a blue. It costs 2 less to cast if you control a creature with flying.
Oh, I know what this does.
Yeah, you get to return.
You swap it with one of your benched Pokemon.
No, you swap it with one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, don't you?
Yeah.
No, so you can return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand, and you can draw a card.
Yeah.
So
that literally is Gust of Wind, though, in its own sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Even
Has it got
looks
a Weedle flying with leaves through the air?
There's Pidgeot on there.
It has got some kind of giant bird flying. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems okay. There are better cards out there for that, but at the same time, you are technically, if you've got a creature with flying, you're only paying 2, drawing a card, and returning something to someone's hand.
Yeah, that's
not bad. Sounds better that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep Safe up next. Costs 1 and a blue. It's an instant counter target spell that targets a permanent you control, and then you draw a card.
Yeah, that's good.
If this, yeah, that sounds all right.
Just stops removal.
Yeah, I mean the thing is with these cards, it's not totally commander focused, is it? Where we play commander. No. So these are probably, I don't know, I've never played anything else, so it's kind of like people in standard might be going, oh my god, amazing. I don't really know. Yeah. I just it's quite cool. That's what I keep telling myself.
It's quite situational. In Commander, it's situational. In more constructed formats, it's probably it's less.
Yeah, that could be a big card. I don't know.
There was a card that came out a while back that gave all your permanents hexproof, and that was like a really popular card.
Yeah.
Is that the Archetype of Endurance? That one?
No, it's an instant spell. It costs like 2 mana. Veil of Summer maybe or something.
Oh yeah. And they have gain protection from blue and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah, there's ones basically different versions of that. Yeah, and that they're by giving something hexproof at instant speed, you're countering the spell anyway.
Basically, yeah. Fizzle.
Yeah, it's usable. It's just you got to bear in mind. It's hard, isn't it, with Commander? Last one, Convolute. Costs 2 and a blue. It's an instant counter target spell unless its controller pays 4 mana.
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
It costs 2 and a blue to cast, but you have to counter a spell unless the controller pays 4 mana. I mean, there's others out there, but yeah, that's all I could come up with blue. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got 1 blue card.
Awesome. Let's have it.
It's Sea Dasher Octopus.
Oh, what?
So it's a 2/2 with flash. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, and it costs 2 blue and 1 other. But you can mutate it onto a creature for 1 blue and 1 other. So you mutate it at flash speed when an unblocked creature goes through, and you then draw a card. So it's like sort of infiltration lens style card. But yeah, just another nice little mutate creature, which will allow more cards draw in the deck. So that's Sea Dasher Octopus.
I do have 1 blue card actually.
Alright.
And that's Ferocious Great Shark.
I was going to say, I want to give a shout out to the shark cards, being a big fan of sharks.
Yeah.
Shame there's not enough for tribal, but hey, this is a leg. Oh no, it's not.
Anchors or chains.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome band.
Also like the Shark Typhoon card, but we'll talk about Shark Ferocious Great Shark. Is a 5 mana, which is 2 blue, 3 generic, 5/4 with flash, and what it does is when it enters the battlefield, you counter target artifact or creature spell. So it's pretty good. I think it will be usable in Commander, but there are better options. And if you're playing Shark Tribal, it's different, and they've changed a lot of Oracle texts on fishes to sharks as well now.
Have they? No.
Yeah, so you might be able to go Shark Tribal. I also like Shark Typhoon, because that's actually a very good card. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark token with flying, where X is the spell's converted mana cost. Yeah. So this is a mana cost enchantment. 1 blue, 5 generic, and you can cycle it and just create a random shark as well.
It's literally Sharknado in card form.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's a cool card.
Okay, what about red?
I've got nothing in red.
I have. I don't know. It's a weird one. There's 2 cards One of them's called Cathartic Reunion, and it's got the weirdest looking guy in the artwork, and he's like hugging a dinosaur or something.
Yeah, Cathartic Reunions is a older card. It's a reprint.
Yeah, like who is that guy? Look at the size of his nose. It's bigger than the dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
And then
that card is actually incredibly good.
And then there's another one called Forbidden Friendship, and he's in it again with the dinosaur. And they're like doing a weird smile at each other. I don't know. I just saw it and thought that's a weird choice of art.
Yeah, does look bizarre.
But
like
yeah,
Jeff Goldblum or something in Jurassic Park.
All I'm saying is he's looking at that dinosaur very creepy. That's not just I'm interested in dinosaurs. That's I'm having you.
There's some sort of bond between them, isn't there?
Yeah.
Something going on, bond as ornament.
Yeah, no, that's all I got for red.
Did you say bondage ornament?
Yeah. Equipped creature can't attack or block.
We covered everything now.
We haven't done black, have we?
Oh no, yeah, well, black. Yeah, we've got good
black. F, yeah. Wow. I've got a few black, I think.
She's going black then.
I'll start with a card if you want.
Yeah.
This one I thought was quite cool. Call of the Death Dweller. It's a sorcery. It costs 2 and a black. You get to return up to 2 target creature cards with total converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a Death Touch counter on either of them, then put a Menace counter on either of them.
Okay.
So it's okay. I thought about my little Skullbriar creatures that are like 1/1s, very cheap to cast, and they've all got Infect. So situationally for that would be okay. I thought it was okay. I mean, it's up to 2 target creature cards, so obviously you could get a 3 mana creature as well, just 1.
You could even get Skullbriar back with that, because it's total mana cost 3 or less, so you could just dump Skullbriar in the grave, because his counters remain on him, don't they? If he's moved to any other zone rather than your hand, he remains his counters.
His graveyard, no?
I think
I can't remember.
Counters stay on him, don't they? Unless he gets returned to hand.
But obviously there's that artifact you could use with that as well now, isn't there?
Oh, that one, yeah. Ozolith.
Ozolith that we can talk about.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can counter up Skullbriar, you can just like swap them in and out as you please, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It's kind of sometimes like pulling at straws for me with new sets. Corpse Churn up next, costs 1 and a black. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then you may return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah,
that's quite good. I mean, you're milling yourself, and then you're getting back something.
Yeah, I mean, in black, it depends what you're doing. If you've got graveyard recursion or whatever, you ain't going to be fussed about chucking stuff in the grave, are you?
No. I mean, most decks aren't really going to be fussed about it because, in any good deck, your graveyard's your second hand.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if there must be like if you've got a specific creature in your grave you want back, it could be worth it depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the cards I was looking at was Mythos of Nethroi or however you want to say it.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys have seen this one. It's basically a multicolored spell as well, but it's 1 swamp and 2 generic, and it's an instant spell. And this text is really confusing, but I'll explain it. Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature or if green and white was spent to cast this spell. Right. Sounds confusing. It is confusing. It's essentially, if you play Abzan, if you pay the Abzan mana, you can destroy a target non-land permanent. If you pay a swamp and 2 generic, then you can only destroy a creature.
Yeah, it's worded really badly.
Abzan is very good.
Yeah, it's good. Basically, murder if you don't have the mana, or destroy target non-land permanent if you do have the mana. So yeah, it's good. It's a good card. Mythos of Nethroi. My black, choice is Dirge Bat. Again, for Mutate deck upgrade. So it is a 3/3 flying flash. It can be flashed in and eat something in the air, possibly if you wanted it to. And it costs 2 black and 2 others. So flash flying, whenever it mutates, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. So it's basically like a hero's downfall on a mutate creature, and the mutate cost is 2 black and 4 others. So yeah, just a nice bit of removal piece for mutate deck. And whatever the creature mutates into will then have flash and flying as well, which is also quite good. So yeah, nice little flying bat.
Oh, I've just found that card I was talking about. It's called Dead Weight. It's right above it on the Magic website.
Oh yeah.
It just looks like they put Pokemon in there. A very odd choice again. You know, they're not doing themselves any favours with some of these art.
Yeah, it's like a Raticate on there, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Literally.
But yeah, we'll leave it at that. Raticate.
Yeah. Any more blacks worth mentioning?
Got 5 more. No, 6, 7 more apparently.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I can't remember half of them. Oh no, did that one. So this is a nice little one, I guess. Unexpected Fangs. Instant card that costs 1 and a black, and it just, you get to put a 1/1 counter and a lifelink counter on target creature. So something like that in my Skullbriar deck or something could be useful.
Yeah, definitely.
Because although you're only getting 1 counter, you're getting the lifelink as well.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's okay. Next up, Memory Leak. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card, and from that, choose a non-land card from that player's graveyard or hand. And then exile it. So could
How much does that cost?
3 mana. I'm not very up to date with cards, so I don't know if there's anything similar to this, but that can be lethal against certain people.
Yeah, I think if you're playing, in Command, if you're playing like a pure discard hate deck, that's quite a good card, because you'll get to look at that hand and look through their graveyard and be like, right, what are they playing, and what can I do here to really destroy them?
Yeah, reveals their hand as well, so the opponents know what's in your hand as well.
Yeah.
And you can cycle it. Yeah, that's good.
Cycle it for 1 as well. Yeah. So that's not bad.
Do you say cycle it for 1?
Yeah.
1
So it's a 1 mana draw card.
Yeah.
Oh, why is my charger not on?
None of us have played a discard your opponent's hand deck yet. That would be horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I put one together before using Nath of the Gilt Leaf, and it was absolute trash balls.
Is that the Alf? No.
Yeah, that's actually my new deck now, but it's not.
Oh, nice.
It's not in. It's not the Commander. Definitely not.
Is that the Golgari one?
Yeah, the Golgari one.
Yeah. Fair enough. What else have I got? Got a few more. So you've got Dark Bargain, costs 3 and a black. It's an instant spell, so it lets you look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard, and then it deals 2 damage to you.
Yeah, so this is a reprint as well. But I've always thought this is quite a good card actually, because it lets you dig quite deep for the mana.
Yeah.
And the life is really not an issue. I think I showed you that card before as well, Aaron.
Yeah.
Long while back. But that is a very good card.
It seems okay to me. I don't know.
Well, it'd be quite good in Villas actually. It deals damage to you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
3 cards, 2 of into your hand, 1 to your grave, 1 into your grave. Yeah, that's really good.
So you draw 2. Well, you draw 3 cards, but one of them goes to your grave, which you might want to just put there anyway. So, and then Villas will let you draw another 3 cards, but you might be reanimating that card you've chucked into the grave.
Yeah, well, it does 2 damage to you, so you draw an additional 2.
Oh, additional 2, but
Yeah,
still,
but
that's
still draw
5
4 cards. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, you're drawing 5, but you're keeping 4 for 3 mana.
Well, that's better than my other card. I got a card. Wow, depends. Yeah, because I've got Infernal Contract in Villis, which basically means draw 4 cards, lose half of your life.
Yeah.
So it's not as extreme. It's a bit more extreme than that, but you know that could also end up in me drawing 20 cards as well. So I have to just test it. But yeah, it's a good one. I like that. Haven't thought about
that. 20 cards.
Next up is a card called Extinction Event. Costs 3. Choose odd or even, then you exile each creature with converted mana cost of the chosen value.
That's really good.
Yeah. That's a little creature board wipe.
Just exile them as well, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Extinction Event.
Yeah, rather fitting name. Next up, instant card called Unlikely Aid. It's 1 and a black. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains indestructible till end of turn. So I think I've used cards similar to this in my Skullbriar deck and things before.
I think this is reprint as well.
Yeah, because I think, is it the same card? I'm not sure.
Yeah, because it's the other art before this would have been Roar of the Spark, and it would have been Niv Mizzet carrying a Gideon.
No, it was Rakdos.
Rakdos, that's it.
Yeah, Gideon riding Rakdos, because on the quote it says, "You will never ride me again, Gideon." he's a bloody demon lord, isn't he? And he's getting ridden by Gideon.
Oh right,
it's hilarious. You will never ride me again.
I've used something similar in the past, so it's.
And spoiler alert, he didn't because he died.
He died, yeah.
Situation, all that one. Last up, Grim Dancer is a creature, costs 1 and 2 black, and it enters the battlefield with your choice of 2 different counters on it from among Menace, Death Touch, and Lifelink, and it's a 3/3. So it's a rather cheap black creature that you can pump up fancy if you want. Yeah.
Little nightmares.
How many did you get to choose? Menace, Death Touch, and Lifelink.
So you have to choose 2 different ones, but yeah, Menace, Death Touch, or Lifelink. So you could give it like Death Touch and Lifelink, or Menace and Death Touch.
3 mana.
It's 3 mana. It's a 3/3 creature nightmare. Yeah.
It's basically a Vampire Nighthawk without flying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was cool. I probably won't use it.
It's still cool though. It'll be used in standard more than likely.
Yeah. This is it. This is exactly what I thought to myself.
All right, so let's move on to artifacts.
Yeah.
Because I imagine there's going to be a lot of coloured cards. Multicoloured.
Multicoloured, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't have any artifacts for some reason.
Neither do I.
I was going to say that there wasn't a lot of artifacts in the set, was there?
Not really, no.
There was like the gemstones.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple on my list. So one of them is a cycle of cards. So I've got the Indithar, Zagoth, and Ketria crystals. They're basically mana rocks that add. Well, the Zagoth is Sultai, Ketria is Tima, and Indithar is Absan. So you've also got Mardu and Jeskai in there as well, because they're the colour blocks, or the wedges of the set, basically. They're all 3 drops, and they add those respective wedge pies to your mana pool, but they can also be cycled off for 2, so you can discard them to draw a card late game if they're dead, basically.
They're essentially like the banners that we used to have.
Yeah.
But instead of the banners, you have to sacrifice them to draw cards. These ones, they don't go onto the battlefield, you just cycle them out.
Oh, I never thought of that. Are they exactly the same banners as well? Are they the exact same colour pies?
Yeah, same colour pies.
I see.
I was going to say, there is one actually I found earlier. Crystalline Giant. Artifact creature. It's a giant. Cost 3. It's a 3/3. And it says, at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose a kind of counter at random that Crystalline Giant doesn't have on it from among Flying, First Strike, Death Touch, Hexproof, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, Vigilance, and +1/+1. And then you get to put a counter of that kind on Crystalline Giant.
Cool.
So the longer it goes round, it's going to end up with like all of them if you're lucky.
Yeah, and then you couple that with this ridiculous card, the Ozolith, which is a 1-drop legendary artifact. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had any counters on it, put those on the Ozolith. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, if the Ozolith has counters on it, you may move all counters from the Ozolith onto another target creature. So Crystalline Giant and the Ozolith work really, really well together.
Yeah, it's very...
But yeah, that's a 1-drop, so that's a pretty much broken card.
Whoa. Any type of counters on what?
So whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield...
I was going to say, if it was permanent, God, that would have been ridiculous. Imagine Planeswalkers with that.
Yeah, but there's a combo with this as well, because one of the Sarkhans turns all your Planeswalkers into creatures.
Oh, of course, yeah. And then they just let them die, and then that's it.
All the loyalty goes onto the Ozolith, and then you can just move all that loyalty onto other Planeswalkers that are still creatures. So yeah, have a look at that, because you're a Planeswalker.
Yeah, it costs one as well. It might be worth running in any kind of deck.
Yeah.
Getting the counters.
Potentially, yeah.
In a Skullbriar deck, that could be lethal, but...
Yeah, so whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, though, you have to put those counters on the Ozolith. So you could lose out, but it also it could pay off as well.
Especially if I'm running a lot of infect creatures.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That could be nasty very quickly. Yeah, I might look into that, actually.
Yeah, it's only 1-drop as well, so it could be quite good. So that's all the artifacts, and segue into the lands as well, because the lands do the same sort of thing. You got Ragrin, Zagoth, Savai, Ketria, and Indither Triomes, which are tri-lands.
Tricycles.
Tricycles, yeah. Oh yeah, say cycle as well. I see what you're doing there. Yeah, like that. Good. Tricycles. They do enter tapped, which is a shame, but they would be ridiculous if they didn't. So again, they tap to add one of the wedges to your mana pool, and they cycle for 3, and they are classed as Island Mountain Plains or Swamp Forest Island, so they can be cracked for.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key words there, because you can use your fetch lands to go and get them.
Yeah. So a misty rainforest could turn into a Ketria Triome, which taps for green, red, and white and blue. So yeah.
Well, yeah, your misty rainforest could also crack and become like a blue, white, red one.
Jeskai one, yeah.
Yeah, Jeskai one, just because of the blue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're pretty awesome lands. I'd love to pull some of those. They are rares, but I'd love to pull some of those for the decks that I've got. So I'd like to do those.
I think there'll be a commander card. See a little bit of standard play, but not very much. But they won't see anything more than that. So once they're out of standard, they'll hopefully come down in price. It depends how often they're used in commander. Because to be honest, it depends where you're playing commander. If you're playing budget commander, they're very good. If you're playing, higher end decks, they're not very good.
Yeah.
Just due to the fact that they come in tapped. And essentially, if Troy's playing Skullbriar and he cracks his Bloodstained Mire, he's going for that Overgrown Tomb. He's not going for anything else.
No.
He doesn't want to go and get something that comes in tapped. He wants to go and get something that's untapped. He wants to go and get swamped. He wants to go and that's for that speed is essential.
Yeah, it's probably something I would run. It's probably something I would run because I don't really have ridiculous mana bases. But
yeah, I think it comes down to, doesn't it? Like all my decks now do not run any lands that come in tapped unless it's something specific, like Bajuka Bog. For the point.
Yeah, Bajuka Bog is the only thing that I play that comes in tapped.
Or I've got a blue one for the Yuriko. Is it Soaring Sea Cliff? I think it's in the commander decks, and that's specifically because although it comes in tapped, it gives a creature flying until end of turn, which is lethal for my ninjas, so I've included that. So although you're not getting the mana that turn, you're giving something flying for free.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I've moved away from everything now that comes in tapped. And that it's definitely worth it, but at the same time, a lot of lands are expensive, aren't they?
You pay the premium. Like, my collection is mostly lands.
But that's the thing. You're always going to need lands. You'll always use those lands.
Yeah. The thing is, right, with it, you can sell off you can sell off other cards to be able to play any deck you want once you've already got the mana base there.
Yeah. Also, they don't lose their value.
No, they don't.
Do they? I mean, I've just found a Morphic pool the other day, and I got it quite cheap. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just another thing on these as well. I mean, they'll be good if you had them in your starting hand and they're your first drop of the game. They'll be quite good because obviously probably sometimes don't play stuff on turn 1. So in that effect, they are quite good for tap lands. But also later on in the game, they can be cycled, which is a saving grace. So my decks probably would still run something like this for that. But yeah, tap lands are. It's hard if you're building a competitive deck to have lands that end the turn.
Yeah. I mean, I in my commander decks now, I'd say I've got between 15 and 20 1-drops. Wow, maybe not 20, about 10 to 15 1-drops. So I'm always playing something on turn 1.
Yeah, I think going back to the lands quickly, there aren't that many that come in untapped. It's more like, what is it, like the Blood Crypt and that. You can pay 2 life to have it untapped. There's always a sacrifice. Like a lot of the lands, the blue and black ones, there's loads of dual lands I've got now, but it comes down to certain things, like one of them will come in untapped if you control an island or a swamp, or you control 2 or more basic lands. So, I mean, as much as it doesn't matter on turn 1, really, if you haven't got any 1-drops, fair enough, it comes in tapped, but it's situational as well.
People would play them more even if they said, when this land comes in, pay 5 life or sacrifice it.
Yeah.
And then it comes in untapped. People would pay that.
Even if it was like a double check land. So if Zagoth Triome came in, it said it enters tapped unless you control a swamp, forest or island. Well, swamp or forest forest and island. If it checked for like 2 basic land types. It could
2 basic land types would be quite balanced as well. 1 would be very imbalanced.
Yeah.
So
there's always room for improvement, but
Wizards.
Sort yourself out.
double check lands. You heard it here first.
But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and there's one other land that I want to speak about, which is quite cool, and that's Bonder's Enclave. So it's a land that taps for 1 colourless mana, but then you can pay 3 and tap to draw a card. Activate this ability only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. So probably could go in my Rigsmithese decks. I'll always have a big creature out, and it's just good to, if you've got nothing else to do with your mana, to draw a card. So I just thought I'd mention that as well.
Yeah, that's quite a cool land.
Nice. So that's all the manas, and now we move on to the multicoloured cards.
And I feel like we may be in this one for a while because there is quite a lot.
Quite a few, yeah.
A few. I can't remember why.
Right, so I will kick this off, and I have Kinnan Bonder Prodigy. Costs 2 mana, a blue and a green. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. So your Sol Ring now taps for 3 mana.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Your Command Spin now taps for 2.
There's a lot of buzz
about
this card.
So good. This is going to be a very expensive card.
Yeah.
That's not just what it does. You can also pay 7 mana to look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature card from among them onto the battlefield and put the rest in the bottom in any order. And that doesn't tap when it does that either. So let's say you've got 14 mana, you do that twice. You go through the top 10 cards and you drop a couple of creatures. This is a pushed card, properly pushed. Very powerful.
Legendary.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. Infinite mana as well. Oh, Rigsmithese. Rigsmithese taps for 3 now. Oh no. That's good.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh no, because once Rigsmithese becomes a creature, he's not a land anymore. So then he taps for 3 mana.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
It's insane.
You reckon that's going to be an expensive one then, do you?
Yeah, I think so.
Just ridiculous. It's like Urza, well not like it's not similar. It's like if there's a mana sink on your commander like that, that's ridiculous. It's similar to like Urza or Golos, where they have the mana sinks in there on the commander, which you can just do for ridiculous value late game. It's always good.
Self-regulated commanders.
Yeah. It's a shame it's only green-blue, but still, that's ridiculous.
I mean, it's probably you have to have a creature in command. You'd have to have a creature-heavy deck to get most value out of it. Yeah. But I mean, even if you run like on the heavier side of creatures, like 25 to 30 creatures, percentile-wise, you still have a chance of hitting at least one creature every time. And if you're running big creatures, that could be a Kozilek, or it could be an Arbor Elf. You don't know.
That's good. Good card.
Okay. Want to go through to the next one?
Yeah. Do you want got a multicolored, Troy?
Let's have a look.
Because I have quite a few different ones.
I've got some, but it's kind of like I can't even remember why I picked them. I think it was just out of that seems cool. I don't know. Put it out there, see what people think. There's one here called Song of Creation.
Oh,
yes.
That one.
Yeah. It's an enchantment. You pay 1, a green, blue, and red. It lets you play an additional land on each of your turns, and then whenever you cast a spell, draw 2 cards. But at the beginning of your end step, you have to discard your hand.
Yeah. It's awesome. Total chaos.
That's cool. Because the only real 3-color commander I've considered was Animar, Soul of the Elements.
Yeah.
I just can't get away from creature-focused decks and stuff. But I was like, oh, that's Animar colors. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to build one, I've got a Animar.
You've got everything. Thanks, mate. I'll consider it. Yeah, I just saw that. I was like, that's cool. I guess it caught me because it says you play an additional land, and a lot of those cards are always through the roof in price. So I don't know.
I like the fact that it makes you discard.
Really good or okay.
I like the fact that it makes you discard your hand at the end.
Yeah.
So you could play this in a deck with like something like Bone Miser and Scorpion God and stuff like that in it, and essentially you'll play 2 extra lands a turn. But when you draw your card, and when you cast that card, you've got 2 more cards, right? What does it say?
So whenever you cast a spell, you draw 2 cards.
Yeah, so whenever you cast a spell, you draw 2 cards, and you keep going. And then at your end step, you have to discard them, which will then trigger something like Bone Miser, which will then draw you up more cards into your hand, or give you zombies, or give you mana. It's ridiculous.
Okay, yeah, so there you go. I thought I'd mention it. That sounds like an amazing card then.
It's pretty crazy, yeah.
It is very risk for reward, and I think it will definitely be going. The thing is, right, is if you run that, you have to basically disregard blue from your story, because you're not going to counterspell anything.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
And you can't even, like, when it says that end step trigger, there's no way of you getting around, apart from Bone Miser and things like that, where you discard, because you've got to discard your hand. You've got to discard it. So you need to have cards that say, when you discard a card, draw a card, and then you'll be able to get your hand back.
Yeah.
You can't prepare for the future. You can't hold up a counter spell. It's all or nothing. So it's pure risk. But I mean, I like it. I think it's
sounds like my kind of card, actually. Just go for the throat or whatever.
I think you need a black though to make a lot of the synergies work. So you won't be able to run a team of commander. You'd have to run a whatever colour pie that is, red, black, green, and blue.
Well, that's the my new commanders one. What's it called? What's that? Pardon?
Is it Glintie or something like that?
It might be Glintie that they call it on EDH Rec, but the commander is called
Maelstrom Wielder.
Yeah, Yildris.
Yeah.
Maelstrom Wielder.
Yeah.
Absolutely sick.
Yeah, it's good. Look, good card that, but yeah, I don't know how you get around the discard your hand part of it, but well, you can't really get around it. You just need to accept that your card.
One of these people like George that can think of strategies like that.
Cool. I'll go with my one because it's fairly straightforward. Brokos, Apex of Forever. So this is a legendary creature, Nightmare Beast Elemental, or it's the Bioquartz Space Godzilla for the Kaiju art.
Space Godzilla!
Space Godzilla! This is a mutate creature, so it's a 6/6 trample, and when you cast, you may cast Brokos, Apex of Forever from your graveyard using its mutate ability. So it's basically just a creature that just doesn't go away. You can keep mutating it onto stuff, and obviously in a mutate deck, whenever something mutates, you're going to get all the triggers of that big mutated creature. So
that's horrible.
Yeah, so that is your constant mutate, and it's a 6/6 trampler as well. So you'll be able to give that keyword and that stat block to whatever creature.
Is that a legendary as well?
Yeah, legendary creature, Nightmare Beast Elemental.
Oh, that's a good commander.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. So its mutate, its normal cost is Sultai and 2, and its mutate cost is 2 black or blue hybrid, and then 2 green. Yeah, you can cast him from your grave for that mutate constantly, which is really, really good.
Yeah, that's very, very good.
Yeah, so imagine that's out of all the Apexes, I think that one's going to be the cheapest one to get. I think the other ones are going to be quite expensive, but who knows? They might be ridiculously priced. I don't know. But I don't really care for the Kaiju art. I'm happy with the normal art, so I shall have to see what that goes for when it gets released. Next gold card.
Right. Well, I'm gonna cover. I've already covered this in a video.
Yeah.
So we'll sweep through this quite quickly, and that's Ruinous Ultimatum.
Yeah.
Which is essentially a Cyclonic Rift in Mardu colours.
Yeah.
But destroys all non-land permanents. This card is barbaric.
Oh yeah.
And I hope you guys look forward to feeling the Ruinous Ultimatum.
It's outrageous.
At some point in the near future, hopefully. I'm hoping this Ruinous Ultimatum can clear the COVID path.
Yeah. Just like you say in the video, though, I'll float a link up there. You need to be winning off this card, and you probably will. You know, if you've got the right you've got the right sequencing, you Ruinous Ultimatum, you're going to kill people with this card.
Yeah, I mean, you're just wiping the whole. Yeah, wiping everyone's board but yours.
Yeah, ridiculous.
It's actually gross. I mean, I don't know whether this will run away from a ban or not. It depends, because people want Cyclonic Rift banned, but that's not banned. And personally, I don't mind Cyclonic Rift, but I think
it's a board wipe, isn't it?
It's just a board wipe. People will say, well, it prolongs a game. Well, that's the whole point of Commander. Yeah. If you don't want a long game, go and play modern or standard. Yeah. You know, it's all about having fun with your friends, and you know, sometimes being punished is fun.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I think this is different in the sense that you could win off that, can't you? I mean, my Yuko deck runs the type of blue board wipes that just destroy or return everything to everyone's hand, so it's almost like resetting the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's purely because I can't afford or can't justify a Cyclonic Rift.
Not yet. This is people's main gripe with things like Obliterate and stuff like that. Is it restarts the board completely, but people that use Obliterate like that are not using it correctly. You should be using that card to win the game.
So I put Obliterate, didn't I, in the Mogus deck purely because the enchantments would survive and ruin everyone. That was the whole point. It's not just that we start the game. Nobody wants that, really.
No, and although we may get some hate for saying that we like Obliterate, I use Obliterate for Jockle Hops because I have indestructible creatures that avoid it, and that's how I win the game. Avacyn and Obliterate, and then if someone exiles my Avacyn in response, we all start again. But if not, then I win the game. So it's a win-win for me. It's not an issue.
I will say there's a lot worse than Obliterate. Like I saw some deck lists the other day for Gaddock Teague. You ever seen
yeah.
Little Man? Yeah. And it's literally just, that is a deck you play to annoy people.
That's a very, very hate. That's one with like the Torpor Orb or whatever it is, and stuff like that. One that you can only untap one land.
Stacks decks, they're called.
Yeah, stacks is worse than.
Can't cast certain spells and things. It's just there to toy with people. I did consider it for fun, but then I was like, maybe in the future.
I'd rather do time than play against a stacks deck.
But yeah, I don't think that card will get banned, Josh.
No, it's also sorcery speed as well, isn't it? Cyclonic Rift is instant speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to gear up for this. You have to wait for it to become your turn again, and that's when you want to cast it, and then hopefully win. But it's not instant speed. Yeah. If it was instant speed, it would be a different story. But it's not.
Yeah, it depends if you're playing Ley Line of Anticipation, Aaron.
Oh Jesus, yeah. Yeah. Ridiculous card. So while we're on the subject of ultimatums, you might as well go through. I'll go through the one that I've got on here because this hasn't been talked about yet. Emergent Ultimatum. So this is black, green, blue. So Sultai Ultimatum. Search library for up to 3 mono-coloured cards with different names and exile them. An opponent chooses one of those cards. Shuffle that card into your library so it doesn't go anywhere. And you may cast the other cards without paying their mana costs, and then exile Emergent Ultimatum. So 3 mono-coloured cards, not creatures, just mono-coloured cards with different names, and you get 2 of those, and one of them goes back in the library. So that's absolutely ludicrous. I'm probably going to run this in my Yarok deck because it'll literally search for some horrendous enter the battlefield triggers. So it's just Sultai is just known for its value.
Well, this is what we said before, innit? I said it in the video will float up again. I slightly touch on it.
Yeah.
You've touched on something that I haven't. You could purely use this to warp the battlefield slightly.
Yeah.
Or you could use this to try and win the game. But so you could get Terastodon, Acidic Slime, and do you have to exile it afterwards?
You have to exile the actual spell, the sorcery spell. Okay. Yeah.
Eternal Witness, but that because you could have Eternal Witnessed it and then got it back into your hand.
Yeah. So again, it's just a great value card, really. So yeah, can't wait to get that and use that. Any more ultimatums?
That was disgusting.
Yes, I've got one. Sorry, Troy.
Which one have you got?
I've got Eerie Ultimatum, which I touched on the video as well.
Yeah.
And this is return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield, which in Commander means return any number of permanents from the graveyard to the battlefield. So this is in Abzan colours, and this will be going in my new deck, which will touch on the Commander a bit later on in the video. He is actually the Apex of Death. You may know him.
Yeah.
But essentially, this is a ridiculous reanimation spell.
Mm-hmm. Permanent cards as well. Any number.
Yeah. So you could get yourself a forest, you could get yourself a breeding pool, a command tower, everything that you want to get.
All your cracked lands back.
Or yeah. Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
much value.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Great card. But yeah, Ultimatums are really, really good. Obviously, check out the video. It goes into more detail with regards to those. Troy, multicolored card?
I think I had a couple of little creatures. They seemed alright, depending on the deck. Skull Prophet, a Golgari one, just costs black and green.
Yeah.
Can tap for black and green. It's a 3/1. Can also tap it to put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard if that's your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, little mana dork. And Primal Empathy, costs 1 green-blue. It's an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if you control a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control.
Yeah.
So yeah, in my green deck, I think I have or had a couple of cards like that, enchantments that let me draw cards for the greatest power of creatures or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you've got blue in your deck as well, in a way, this is better because obviously, if you don't, you get to put a 1/1 counter on a creature anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what colour is that card? It's blue.
Green, Stimmet.
Yeah.
It's a shame it's not Golgari because that'd go great in your deck as well.
Yeah, it's a cool little card. So it just reminded me of a couple of cards that I personally use. So yeah, thought it was worth a mention.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. So I've got 2 more cards in my list. How many have you got left, boys?
0, I think.
3.
So you go, Aaron.
So first of all, Titan's Nest. So this is Sultai again and 1 for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard and then exile a card from your graveyard, add a colourless mana. Spend this mana only to cast a coloured spell with X in its mana cost. So it allows you to dump stuff in your grave, which will be great in the Symbiotic Swarm deck, which wants keywords in the deck, in the grave. Because Cathril is the one that checks your grave for any creature with a keyword ability and then distributes those counters among creatures you control, basically. So that'll be good in there. And you can also delve cards away from your grave to add a colourless, basically, is what that reads, sort of.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you can use it in different strategies. So you've got it in your strategy of getting stuff in there for the keywords, but you can also use it in the strategy for, like, big Hydras and just dump a bunch of mana from getting rid of a bunch of crap.
Yeah, exactly. So that's in there for that, as well as potentially big X spells. It's in Sultai as well, so you could use that to fuel like a Villainous Wealth or something like that.
Well, yeah.
The next one I have is Parcel Beast.
Ooh, Parcel Beast. I recognise the name.
Parcel Beast, yeah. So it's a Simic and 2 for a creature Elemental Beast. It's a 2/4. It has a mutate of Simic, so green and blue. And its activated ability is pay 1 and tap. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you may put it onto the battlefield. If you don't put that card into, if you don't put it onto the battlefield, put it into your hands. It's basically like a little growth spiral on a mutated creature.
That's cool.
So yeah, you're basically giving the creature you're mutating this onto, which will be my commander, will then have the ability to growth spiral every turn, basically. So that's a good little upgrade for the mutate deck. And then the only companion, which I'll be mentioning in on my side, I'm not sure whether you guys have any of the companions.
We could talk about the controversial banned one.
Yeah, we can talk about the banned one.
We literally saw this pop up on Facebook thanks to, is it Star City Games? I think they do YouTube Commander stuff as well.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
That's where I got all the spoilers from, pretty much, as they sort of came out. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, it's just a bloody blah, yeah. Learning about Companion, oh, it's banned. Within, what, an hour? What's up? What's up with that?
Yeah, no, it was predetermined that it was going to be banned, just because it would be an auto-include in any deck that can run those colours.
Yeah, I get it. I was just like, surely when they're making that card, they already know. Surely they know these things.
Well, yeah, I think that was a straight palm to Commander, but then when they're doing so much stuff for Commander, I feel like that's fine. They can. Yeah,
it was just like, oh, it's banned already. Nobody's played it yet. Oh, they obviously knew it was coming. You know, it's a bloody otter though. Everyone's.
I feel like also they've done it on purpose because financially that card's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because if everyone's wanting it, there won't be enough around, and it'll become like, if you're not running it, why aren't you running it? Is it because you haven't got X money to put in it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I just thought that was all it was a complete mess, I thought, personally. Yeah. It just didn't look good, did it? But hey, I wasn't that interested in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. I'm going to go over one more card before Aaron does his, and that is Dire Tactics. So this is a white and black spell at instant speed.
I did have that.
Exile target creature. If you don't control a human, you lose life equal to that creature's toughness. Yeah. So it is, I'm going to get rid of what you've got, but I'm going to take a punch in the face. But it is 2 mana to exile, and I think that's very good. Yeah, I can see this being used quite a bit, even in Commander, because it's easy to get rid of a lot of things. Most people's commanders aren't like big beefcakes, so what's 2 mana? What's like 4 or 5 life to get rid of something like that? It's not that much.
You could cast that on a Rigsmithese when he becomes a creature if you like.
Yeah.
Lose 12 life. Basically like a reverse swords, isn't it? Swords to plowshares.
Yeah. But it also can be fine if you control a human.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, it's very similar to a card that we had Guilds of Ravnica or whatever it was, which is Final Payment, which is you could sacrifice a creature on enchantment or pay 5 life to destroy a creature, but instead it's exile.
Yeah, that's cool.
Go with your companion card, my friend.
Yeah, so companions basically they give you a deck limitation, but it means that you can cast the companion from outside the game, basically. So it doesn't count as towards your deck cost, which is interesting. So you get a free card out of it, but you have to run a limitation. So that's what the companion rule is. But this companion, the Gyruda Doom of Depths, does have an alternate art. I can't remember what it is though. It's like Gygan or something. It looks like a big mechanical thing, basically, on the Kaiju art. But it's a legendary creature, Demon Kraken. So this card speaks to me in volumes. I'm pretty sure Wizards saw the Demon Kraken card that I designed on MTG Cardsmith, and that's where they got the creature type from, Demon Kraken. But yeah, so it's a 6/6 legendary creature, Demon Kraken. Costs 4 generic mana and black-blue hybrid. When it enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard and puts a creature card with an even converted mana cost from among those cards onto the battlefield under your control. So it digs through other people's decks and allows you to steal one of their creatures, but it has to be an even converted mana cost. So I'm not sure whether it's going to be used or not, but I just wanted to mention it because it's just right on flavour. For
you, yeah, it's right up your alley. Demons and Leviathans. Troy, have you got anything before I do the last one?
No, I got nothing for companions.
So the final card is something that we've covered on our channel before, and it's Nithuri, Apex of Death, or its alternate Godzilla art name is Biolante Plant Beast Form, which is the one that I am going to get because it's sick. And it's the mutate card, but its normal cost is Abzan and 2 generic, or you could play 4 generic, a Selesnya hybrid mana, and 2 swamps. It has Death Touch and Lifelink. It's a 5/5, and whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with a total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So with this card, you could be playing a Wolves deck and you could just keep reanimating all your Wolves from the graveyard. The value, you could use it as a value engine to get back so many 1s and 2 drops. 2 power cut. Was it? Did it say power or toughness? Power. Yeah, so you could bring back a bunch of stuff. You could bring back, it's in the right colours, so you could bring back what's his name? Gerolf, the Lonian Titan.
Oh yeah, Giraffe, Lonian Titan, yeah. Whenever it blocks, +7/+7.
Yeah. So there are so many options with this. So this card, it's spicy. You could be getting back Avison and a couple of 2 1/1s. You could get back Tree of Predation, whatever it is called. Tradition.
Yes.
That's got 0 power, isn't it? It's got 0 power as well.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, that's a free card basically, Tree of Predation. Wow.
Yeah, there's so much you can get with this. You could even use it to get, because obviously every time you mutate, it will do it again. So you could do it. So one of my plans with this card is I plan to mutate a Nova Blast Worm.
Yeah.
So what Nova Blast Worm does is when it attacks, destroy all other creatures. So my plan with this...
Oh, what?
My plan with this is to mutate Nova Blast Worm, attack, destroy all the creatures I just reanimated, but all of those creatures are going to have dying triggers or entering the battlefield triggers. So they'll enter in, do something, die, do something else.
Yeah, like that. Nova Blast Worm, absolute classic.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it before, but then I know about it now, and it's just awesome. It's awesome.
Absolutely awesome, and that'll. I mean, the art on that is pretty much matches with Biollante, really.
Yeah.
You can imagine them being in the same world, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to building this new deck. I'm hoping that the Biollante, whatever it is, isn't too pricey. I imagine it probably will be, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
that's a sacrifice you make.
Yeah, it's a collector's item, and I wouldn't use the original art version of this just because it's not my flavour.
No, you're about the Eldritch Beasts, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's brilliant.
Yeah, nice. It's going to be good to see some Abzan decks. We haven't had any Abzan decks on the channel yet, and obviously you're building one, and I'm getting one, which I'm just going to upgrade. So it's going to be good to see some Abzan flavours on there. But that's about it for Ikoria. I can't believe it's all been spoiled already. Obviously the product's been delayed as a result of the situation, but I'm sure we'll be able to get some stuff ASAP. So yeah, looking forward to getting our hands on these cards. Hope everyone's staying safe, and thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, and if you've made it this far through to the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's an extra couple of seconds. A quick thing over what we're going to be doing. So we will be doing some online, well, I don't want to say online, it makes me sound like an old man, but virtual games, but using paper magic. Aaron's released a video on how to do this. Essentially, we're all going to do this and play Magic together.
And potentially going to be collaborating with another YouTube channel as well called Tap That MTG, run by two lovely ladies. Got a project in the works of them now, so expect to see more from that as well. Go and check out their channel as well.
We'll leave a link. We'll leave a link in the description and for you to go and check out.
Yeah, great.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much for tuning in.
That's new news to you, isn't it, Troy?
You didn't have a clue.
Like, are you making this up?
No.
Hey, Magic, what are you talking about?
They've got a brilliant channel. So, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time, guys.
See you later.
Bye-bye.